In the public school system, television production classes are considered extremely important. At Seekonk High, the dedicated reporters who investigate these hard-hitting stories are members of an elite squad known as Seekonk Television News. These are their stories.
Welcome, Seekonk High, to another edition of STV News. I'm one of your hosts, Mike Braga, along with this guy.
Ryan Reardon. Today we have a jam-packed show for you, as it seems that everyone was able to get their stories in on time.
Let's see if we can keep this streak going for the rest of the semester.
My guess is probably not.
Hey now, you need to improve that attitude of yours. And speaking of improvements, in any place of business, nothing seems to be perfect, and there's always something people think should be improved upon. High school is no different. Students and teachers voice their opinions about what should be improved upon here at Seekonk High.
SHS has been striving to improve itself. There have been a few improvements made, with many more to work on. The Warrior News team is on the case. This gazebo used to be covered with paint, but now it's not. Take that, vandalists. Seekonk has been working hard to improve all aspects of the school and town. This includes beautifying the school and creating new possibilities. New phones, murals, and a bullpen make the school look much better. Our brand new Mitel 5304 IP phones are fantastic for everyday call, room-to-room needs. We have this brand new thing called Caller ID, and you also know where you are, the time, and the date at all times just by looking at the phone. They just put this bullpen in last year. It's indescribably beautiful! The school also put in new scoreboards, but there are still many problems that need to be addressed. The outside lunch tables seem to be a high concern of the students. Along with the tables, there are many minor things in need of attention.
I would have to say the rusty tables outside because everyone's sitting on them and we're about to get tetanus.
Well, when I eat outside at lunch, I feel like I'm going to get tetanus.
Jeez, it's a good thing I got my tetanus shots. To make sure I won't get tetanus, I come inside, where I risk sitting in a broken chair. It's broken. I love hydration. Wait a minute. This is $3 for a water that I can't even buy till 2 o'clock? Since water bottles are $3, let me just get a drink from the bubbler. Maybe not this one. Maybe not either of them. What is that? So apparently, this bathroom floods, but we can't show you that, so you just gotta take my word for it. The language lab is in dire need for improvement, as you can tell by all of this outdated technology. But we have not developed it in many years. But at least this chair is comfortable. Can't use my cell phone to make a phone call. I'm going to use the telephone booth. Wait a minute, it's filled with stuff, and not even a telephone. Remember when they said we could go for lovely strolls in the courtyard? Psych. Just about all of the lockers down here are broken. Huh? 1 of 6. Hold on. What if someone steps on these, slips, falls, breaks their arm, then they sue the school? Then what? Then you got a lawsuit on your hands. Take care of yourself, SHS. Look at this electrical socket. Someone could stick a fork in that and electrocute themselves. Someone could trip on this off staircasing. But Seekonk will forever continue to improve itself. To administration, faculty, and of course the custodial staff, I thank you. From STV News, I'm Spencer Dowdy.
Every year, the school dress code becomes an increasingly hot topic in many schools worldwide. As opposed to requiring students to wear specific clothing or uniforms, dress codes provide the guidelines through which students are allowed to wear any clothing that meets the school's requirements. Accordingly, school dress codes are designed to create a certain atmosphere in school while providing students with some freedom of expression through their wardrobe. While many parents applaud the demand of school dress codes as a way to ensure that their children are dressed properly, some students question whether the requirement of a dress code eliminates their individuality.
The dress code at Seekonk High School is always a hot topic. This year is no different, with new changes including no ripped jeans, no jackets, and no leggings. Students and teachers are voicing their opinions on the controversial topic.
Teenagers are always looking for new ways to express themselves, but imposing boundaries can prevent them from resorting to extremes that can sometimes lead to undesirable consequences. School dress codes are imposed to teach students the importance of respectful appearance, which is a lesson they can positively self-impact themselves and their self-esteem.
Yeah, basically the dress code is very similar. There's only a few changes that were approved by the school council and the school committee, and they revolve around having tights. Everything has to be covered to the length of your longest finger. So any kind of shorts or skirts or anything has to be longer than that.
Unlike uniform policies which specify what a student has to wear, school dress codes address what students cannot wear. Dress codes vary widely from school to school, but typically include ban on things such as leggings, short skirts, t-shirts, vulgar attire, and bare midriffs. But when schools ban specific items like leggings, midriffs, some students feel like it sends a negative message to both genders of the student body.
I'm outraged. I think it's very sexist against women. It's messed up.
I think that there are a couple of changes that shouldn't have been made, and I think it's a lot more strict than last year, and I don't know, it's kind of upsetting to see people's freedom to wear what they want be choked out, you know?
I think it's pretty lame. I think it's stupid. What? We should be able to wear whatever we want.
Girls are sometimes told that their clothing is too distracting so boys can't pay attention, but that kind of language can be seen as sexist, and many anti-dress code advocates point out that it sends a message to the male student body that they are not solely responsible for their actions.
There's not that many violating it, and we're given warnings. We're trying to, explain different rules so that people know. So no one's getting in trouble for it now. We're just giving warnings, and mostly 98% of the students are compliant.
What is the punishment for violating the dress code?
Right now there's not. We're just trying to correct the behavior, make sure that they get something in. So last year we didn't have to do any discipline at all for a dress code violation. So it's just repeated use. Will most kids actually cooperate.
Thank you. Despite the new changes, students seem to be following the dress code this year. Let's see how it goes for the rest of the year. From STV News, I'm Joe Ferreira.
Each fall, the school puts out a list of items that seniors must take care of to get through the senior year. Things that are included in the senior package, or items that need to be turned in to the yearbook editors or senior class council. Ryan Sheehan discussed the importance of all these seniors meeting these obligations.
The first semester of school is the biggest for seniors. They need to make sure they get all their forms in for their senior package and get all their senior obligations done with. We asked video yearbook staff and class advisors, as well as students, about the importance of getting their senior obligations done. Video yearbook staff and advisors stress the need for students to follow deadlines. As the year progresses and graduation closes in, deadlines come pretty fast.
It's very important, Ryan. It's very important to us. We need to get the information in. There's shirts that need to be ordered. There's senior supper. There's a deadline that's due. So it's very important that you pay attention to deadlines and get the money into us as soon as possible.
For yearbook, got to make the deadlines. We already have had one cutoff date, two coming up, senior pictures, and then obviously your obligations of books and whatnot. You have to make sure that you get those done.
My seniors are not handling their obligations. They got senioritis and they need to step it up.
Some students believe that obligations are not important, and even sometimes students believe that the school owes them, while most students finish right as the deadline comes.
Well, you see, the school actually owes me money from the $5 I spent for homecoming that never happened. So they're on my obligation list.
I'm not worried because I always finish at the buzzer.
Or what about the time when I switched out of art and I didn't get my $10 back?
Senior year goes by faster than expected. Make sure you're ready when the end of the year comes. From STV News, I'm Ryan Sheehan.
Paper cuts are very dangerous. They may be small and easy to get, but they can be really painful.
Yes, they are, but Paper Cuts is also the name of our school's literary and arts magazine. The magazine provides a space to showcase the arts and writing talents of Seekonk students. If you are interested in the arts, you have to check out Paper Cuts.
Hello, Seekonk High School. I'm Ty Wheeler, and today we're going to get a closer look at paper cuts and look at some of the reasons as to why you may want to join.
Paper Cuts is Seekonk High School's literary and art magazine. We publish once a year, and all students can submit work, anything from poems, short stories, essays, editorials, satires, cartoons, artwork, photography, anything really.
On a monthly basis we meet, we basically discuss our game plan for the month. So for example, in the past meeting we talked about how are we going to advertise paper cuts.
This club benefits a student because it really gives them like a full-on experience if they want to go into anything like journalism, where they have a full-on experience of editing other people's work, like shifting through submissions, things like that. It really is also a great way to make friends. I know that I have made several friends through doing this club, and it's just a great experience overall.
In the spring, like I would say March, April, May, that's when we get busy, but no one is responsible for everything. We usually are able to get the whole crew to sort of come up with a plan for who can make it on which nights, and if you just come for 20 minutes or half an hour to help with editing and paginating, it usually is enough and it gets it done on time.
Well, students should join because it again gives them that experience of publishing their works, of editing for a newspaper or a magazine or a journal. It helps give them that experience, so if they want to do that in their future, that they're not going into it blindly.
To conclude, paper cuts give students great opportunities to express their creativity and share their work with others. If you're interested in joining, we encourage you to do so. This is Ty from STV News.
Feartown Haunted House is back in business for the Halloween season. Several Seekonk students work as actors and crew in this huge outdoor haunted attraction that is unlike anything you have ever experienced. Located deep in the woods behind Seekonk Speedway, Feartown is a terrifying and fun-filled journey in and out of the rundown buildings that have been hidden for decades. Mason Martin gives us an inside look of what to expect.
It is now the month of October, and you know what that means? It's Halloween time. During Halloween, there are a lot of things to do. Pumpkin picking, costume parties, and the best of all, haunted houses. Here in Seekonk, we are home to the #1 haunted house in Massachusetts, Feartown. I'm behind the scenes to get to know more about what goes into making a successful haunt.
Feartown started back in 2013 and has continued to grow ever since. Some people may not know who works behind the scenes and around the clock to try and make Feartown run as smoothly as possible.
What do you do at Feartown?
I'm the general manager at Feartown, so I run around and kind of take care of everything.
What do you do at Feartown?
I'm the actor coordinator here at Feartown, so my job is to make sure everybody knows where their spots are, make sure they know what they're doing, check them in, check them out every single night, and do a lot of the actor management coordination.
What do you do at Feartown?
All right, so I'm Sawyer. I run the makeup department, and I design all of our characters.
After being voted the #1 haunted house in Massachusetts by fans on the website Scare Factor, Feartown has some big plans for this upcoming season.
I'm most excited for pretty much the whole thing is new this year. We kind of redesigned everything and flipped the layout and everything, so it's a brand new, it's even longer than it has been. It's 45 minutes, so I'm just excited to see people go through it, see what the actors kind of do with every spot, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Besides changing the layout of everything this year, Feartown is really excited about all of its actors. Both new and returning actors are happy to be here and give a lot of their time and energy into making Feartown look amazing. Feartown is for an elite group of actors that are able to manipulate, evolve, and adapt characters in a couple of days and sometimes hours, all in order to make Feartown outstanding.
I'm free?
You're free.
Free!
One last thing everyone is really excited for is Extreme Fears.
What is Extreme Fears?
So Extreme Fears is our brand new, as of last year, event that we have the last 2 nights of the season, and that is a full contact night. So our actors can touch you, they can kind of get a little bit more aggressive with you.
Extreme Fears is a 2-night special event where the actors can touch you. You'll be put in more extreme situations. You have to sign a waiver beforehand, and there is a safe word to get you out of whatever situation you're kind of going through. So it's kind of for those people that like haunted houses but want a little something extra.
Regular fears is we're going to pop out at you, we're going to yell at you, but there's still that distance. There's still that safe separation between here is the actor, here is the guest. At Extreme Fears, we break down that wall and we can touch you. We can paint on you. We can pull you away. We can put a bag over your head and lead you through the woods.
Extreme Fears only happens 2 times this year, at the end of the season. So if you love haunted houses and want some intensity, I suggest going one of those nights. However, if you don't like that kind of stuff, Feartown has the rest of its nights where it's just a regular haunted house. Make sure to check out Feartown at some point during the Halloween season.
Feartown had a great first weekend, and it's only going to get better. From STV News, I'm Mason Martin.
Yeah, you guys want to video yearbook party tonight?
Of course, bro. Of course.
Can I hang out with you guys?
Buy your video yearbook?
What's the video yearbook?
The video yearbook is literally a video of the whole year. And at just $30, it's a steal. Come on, let's get it.
Dr. Jones is at it again in his never-ending quest to make Seekonk High School the best school in New England. He's on campaign to make students and faculty feel welcome and special whenever they enter these sacred halls. Mike Braga reveals the method behind his madness in an STV News report we call Signs.
Every Wednesday morning, Dr. Jones stands at the school entrance holding signs of words of inspiration. This all started as an online movement called Improve SHS, which started last year as a forum for students to voice their opinions as to what they thought could improve the school. Now Dr. Jones is holding signs to help improve the moods of students throughout the school day. Dr. Jones makes an effort to affect all students by greeting everyone that walks past him. He goes to all 3 entrances to reach as many students as possible to help spread the signs' kind words.
The purpose of the signs is just to send a positive message to students when they come in once a week. There's various messages like you're committed, you're dedicated, you're super, you're welcome. So the whole idea is to send a welcoming message to the high school, put a smile on kids' faces as they come in, and let them know that they're part of the building and part of the community.
So far, the signs have proven to be popular with students. Many have taken pictures with Dr. Jones to show their support for the movement.
I think they're fine. I think if he's going to take the time to go out there and show them, I mean, I guess it's good because people notice them. It's like, what are they doing out there? And he does say it too. So, I mean, I'm sure like with some people it helps.
The signs originated from a couple other principals that I know. There's Brian McCann over at Case High School in Swansea. He's the one that kind of started this, and he got the idea from another principal out in Ohio. And he figured he'd try it for a day. He did it for the day, got much of the same looks that I got when I started it, where some of the students are smiling because it puts a smile on their face or they just think I'm strange. So some don't look at me, some do, they look down. But then he didn't think he'd keep doing it, and he did keep doing it, and it worked. And also from Martin Gagan, he's the principal of middle school in Middleborough. And he did it with Brian McCann at the same time. So I took it and ran with it. There's some other schools that are doing it. And it's nice to see all the students' faces when we go on Twitter with it or Facebook and things like that.
With Dr. Jones' large following on Twitter, it is safe to say that students, family members, and faculty have taken a liking to the signs. From STV News, I'm Mike Braga. Every year, Mr. Crippen assigns a project in his class that requires students to showcase what America means to them. Students are free to choose a variety of mediums to display their take on the good old USA. Some students, like Ty Wheeler, take it to another level. Ty receives some accolades from teachers and administration for his video presentation.
For years, Mr. Crippen's junior English class has partaken in a project Mr. Crippen likes to call the America Project. This year, junior Ty Wheeler's project was a notch above the rest. Students' projects have varied over the years. Some students have tried to be inspirational.
You know, guys, it isn't about finding an object. America's about being able to go wherever you want and having the freedom to do as you choose. America's all around us.
Others have attempted to create drama and action. In all seriousness, students and faculty were equally impressed with Ty's project.
Not gonna lie, it was really inspirational. It made me really moved on how I want to be an American, made me tear up and cry a little bit. Great stuff, really proud of what the guy's putting out.
I'm promoting Ty Wheeler's project, because I thought it was great. I think it's a perfect example of student creativity when they're given some voice or some agency in what they do to answer a question that they're given in class for academic reasons. As far as effect it has on people, I think that's one of the great things about the video, is it has an effect that changes depending on the person's viewpoint that's viewing it.
Ty's project has become popular throughout the entire school. We caught up with Mr. Crippen to learn more about the purpose behind the project. We also met with Ty Wheeler to get the inside scoop.
Well, the purpose of 11th grade English is an American literature survey type class, so I figured what better way to get it kicked off than to find out what the kids think are the main ingredients of what an American is, and then maybe we can see it throughout the year reflected in the literature that we read.
The main idea behind the project was to really spread the word about like how you can basically do anything that you really want to in this country, and how like everybody has the opportunity to make something of themselves. So I just wanted to kind of spread that sort of message to inspire people.
Are you surprised by the popularity your project has gained?
I'm kind of surprised. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to go far. You know, it was just an English project, so I'm surprised it even got as far as the newsletter and the principal noticed it and stuff. So it was definitely surprising.
After watching Ty's project, we can all ask ourselves what it means to be an American. No matter your definition, it's certainly something to be proud of. From STV News, I'm Terry Smith.
Mr. Crippen does a great job of updating us every day with his sports reports. STV News sports reporter Luke Robitaille gives his recap with some of the fall season's highlights.
With the school year getting underway, so are Seekonk Sports. This is your Seekonk Sports Report. The Seekonk High School football team bounced back real quick after losing their first game to Ashland by winning 2 games in a row. Terry Smith and Shane Smith lead the league in touchdown passes and receptions. Seekonk lost their last game against Wareham, but looks to bounce back this Friday against Case. The soccer team is at an all-time high right now, with an undefeated record and currently holding the longest win streak in Seekonk High School history. They look towards the SCC championship and putting up the first banner. The golf team turned their season around. After dropping their first 3 matches, they won 3 in a row. With Ben Brady and Ryan Sheen leading the team, they look towards their next match against DR. The volleyball team is struggling. Not being able to get a single win is tough, but there is still hope. They won 2 sets in their last 2 games and look to get a win against Aponequid in the next match. The girls' soccer team has recently been struck with some bad luck. With their starting goalie going down, Meredith Reardon has to man the net. As they look towards playoffs, they only need 4 more wins to clinch a spot. The field hockey team is just over 500, with a record of 4-3 as they look to defend the South Coast Conference title. Seems like Seekonk sports teams are really killing it right now, and you already know we better catch that W. From STV News, I'm Luke Robitaille.
Well, that's all the stories we have for this episode. Hope you enjoyed the homecoming pep rally.
And make sure you come see the football game tonight.
Hey, that was my line.
Yeah, well, I said it, and there's nothing you can do about it now. So from STV News, I'm Ryan Reardon.
And I'm Mike Braga. Have a great weekend, folks. We'll see you in 2 weeks for the next episode.